Hi, this is Rico at All Truck Fleet. In this video, I'm going to sort of walk through the install of this Thinkware DC-M1-FG dash cam. Sorry for the camera angle, it's not looking so good, but maybe you can still get something useful from the video. I had a 2022 F250 with the 7.3 Godzilla motor, and the dealer had installed the front and rear dash cam. I really liked the truck, but it was not exactly what I wanted. I was not really satisfied with a lot of little things with the interior, the new lighting system on the outside, all four headlights being on at the same time. I just wasn't really completely satisfied with it, and really it was more truck than I actually needed. When I sold the 250, I took out most of the accessories I had put on it, including this dash cam. I searched for information on how to install it, and I wanted to be sure that the OBD2 adapter connector would work on a different model Ford that is. Although I was only going from a 250 to a 150 of the same year model, with today's high-tech vehicles and all the electronics communicating with each other, I really wanted to be sure it was going to work without causing any issues. It was not easy finding accurate information for the questions I had, so after doing my research, I felt confident installing this front and rear dash cam from Thinkware onto a customer's 2022 F150 Lariat. Now this is a really nice truck with the Lariat 502A trim, but the quality of the materials used on this year model seems to suffer when compared to earlier year model F150s. I guess the supply chain issues are to blame, I don't know, but in my opinion, the 2014 through 2020 F150s were the last ones with much better quality. I did have a 2020 XLT FX4, and it was a pretty solid truck. Let me know what you think in the comments below, which year model F150s were the best. Now, I am not a die-hard fan to any one particular brand, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, or Ram. I just work on a lot of Ford trucks and wonder which year models you guys think were the best and what your experience has been with them. Anyway, let's get to the install. First, I hooked everything up to make sure it was going to work. And since I was using the OBD2 wiring harness adapter, it was super easy. I was just being super cautious. Anyway, I wanted to remove this overhead cover so I could tuck the wiring and run it under the front edge of the headliner. You can use a plastic trim panel remover like the one seen here, but you don't really have to. To remove this cover, you'll need to use two hands and pull down. It's pretty tight, but it's only held on with snap-in clips. Now this video credit that you're seeing here goes to infotainment.com. They have quite a few other videos. You might want to check them out. So now I plan to run the wiring on the front edge of the headliner using small strips of double-sided tape, so it will stay in place when I press it into the edge of the headliner. I took off the grab handle using a number 10 millimeter socket. This released the whole pillar cover panel.
This is the next part had snap off. So next I'm going to run the OBD2 wire right through here.
It's a really easy pathway. The plug is just a little bulky to slide through there, but with a little maneuvering you get it through there. There it is. I cut small strips of double-sided tape and wrapped them around the wire about every 8 inches. This helps it stay in place once I shove the wire under the front edge of the headliner.
So for the next part, I just use the clips that are already here, run the wire down. Hold it in place. And if I have to do any more taping, I'll use some of that real strong Gorilla Tape.
In case you're wondering, this piece snaps right on or off. You can remove it by using a little punch or O-ring pick. At the bottom there's a little hole or type of groove that you can use to pry with or pry from. I finished running the wires and used a little bit of Gorilla Tape to hold the wire in place where I wanted it to stay. I zip tied the dash cam motion sensor here to this vent. In case you're curious how the side panel goes on and off, as soon as I get the camera positioned and steady just right, I'll snap it in for you. You want to take the edge of the panel and slip it under the door gasket, line it up where the slots go in for the clips, and press it until you hear the clip snap in place. Pretty simple. The connector bracket is different on the 150 and 250, so I'll just have to leave it dangling until I find a place to tuck it out of the way or bolt it under the dash somewhere.
So here's the finished product. This here's the rear view for the rear camera. And this is the front one. I decided to put the rear camera here. Gets a wide enough vision of the back window and the two rear side windows. And plus it was easier to run the wires instead of going through the whole length of the cab. But everything turned out really well. Pretty simple install. And so these wires here ran up to the inside, came out the back for these, and ran these wires up behind here.
Okay, now let's take it for a spin. When you hear a beep, it's because the motion sensor for the dash cam detects an abnormal movement, such as a bump in the road or sudden stop or crash. The first couple of times I heard it, I started looking at all of my gauges because I thought it was something coming from my truck's warning system. Now on the Ford Accessories website, it lists this dash cam as the F200PRO. Other Thinkware models have features you can use online, but this one only works with an app on a smartphone. You can create an account on the app, and once you connect your dash cam to your phone via Wi-Fi, you will be able to see all the functioning features. It is a little bit of a cumbersome operation to get the telephone and the app and the camera to all connect and to stay connected. But once you get in there, you can also download video files from the camera. The date and time of the files is actually the file name. Now it's a pretty decent camera, and if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can find a better price, most likely, with better features, and even get a 4K camera. With the OBD2 plug-and-play harness, the install is super easy. But if you have the money to spend, the car dealership will be more than happy to accommodate you. It may take a few extra days of downtime for them to do the install, however. I was able to do it myself in one afternoon, but most of my time was spent researching how interior parts can be removed without damaging them, and then deciding how I wanted to run the wiring and place the cameras. If you want, you could leave all of the wires exposed and dangling. That would probably only take about 15 minutes to do the install, but I wanted a clean factory look. Now, some other features for this dash cam are: it has a full HD 1080 pixel forward facing and rear camera, 140-degree viewing angle forward facing, and 160-degree viewing angle for the rear camera. It also has Super Night Vision 1.0. It has motion detection and impact sensor trigger that will make the camera record whenever in parking surveillance mode. The rear camera, with a connection cable from the front to the rear camera, runs about 24.5 feet, which is plenty for the F150 that I have crew cab. It also comes with a 32 gigabyte micro SD memory card with an adapter, and you can also configure the dash cam settings with the built-in Wi-Fi. It calls it easy to use, but it is, but it isn't, because it seems to lose connection quite easily. Well, thanks for watching. Do us a favor and hit the like and subscribe button. Hope you're able to get something useful from this video, and see you guys next time.